6 months ago, this river flowed almost 4 meters deep. It was a stable sanctuary where hundreds of hippos spent their days submerged, completely protected from the African sun. Today, half a year of drought has boiled the river down to a shallow mud pit, choked with waste and stagnant water. As the water receded, the landscape around it dried into a wasteland, pinning the entire hippo population inside a puddle that shrinks by the hour. This total collapse creates a physical tie line for their survival. Every hour spent in the sun accelerates their dehydration, forcing the animals into a defensive state where their previous social rules no longer apply. This is a biological trap. It occurs when an animal's specific physiological needs lock them into a location, even as the resources they require vanish. For most animals, the solution is movement. Birds can fly miles to find the next functional river or lake. Crocodiles can survive by burying themselves in the remaining mud, entering a state of dormancy that protects them from the heat. Hippos have neither of these options. Their skin is highly sensitive to the sun, and they require water to regulate their massive body temperatures. Trying to cross the arid plains in search of a new water source would kill them before they reached it. They are hostages to this specific patch of mud. When resources drop to this level, survival overrides almost every other biological drive. Hippos are notoriously territorial. Just a week ago, the males in this pond were actively fighting each other to claim the deepest sections of the water. Now, a fragile ceasefire has taken over. Desperation has packed them so tightly together that they are forced to share the meager coolness of the mud, skin to skin. The immediate threat of the sun is so intense that it has suppressed their natural aggression, replacing it with a collective effort to survive the day. But the herd isn't alone. This dying pond is a magnet for every thirsty animal on the savanna. This creates a direct conflict between species. While zebras or antelope only need a quick drink, hippos require physical volume and space to submerge their entire bodies. The dominant male must remain hyper-alert, patrolling the perimeter to ensure no outsiders consume the few inches of moisture that remain. In this environment, every gallon of water or square foot of mud occupied by an outsider is a direct reduction of the herd's survival time. The standoff is tested when a lone hippo appears on the horizon, a scout from a rival herd looking for water to save his own family. For the intruder, gaining access to this mud pit is the only way to avoid dying in the drought. The alpha recognizes the threat immediately. He cannot allow another massive body to take up space in the shrinking life support system. Faster, more urgent tone. As the water splashes, the two bulls collide in the shallow mud. Despite the exhaustion of the drought, the alpha fights with a ferocity driven by the need to protect his family's last hope. The fight ends with the rival forced back. He is pushed out of the pond and forced to retreat toward the scorching plains. The cooperation inside the herd only goes so far. The moment an external threat appears, the drive to protect the resource returns with a vengeance. The alpha returns to the mud. He has successfully defended the pond and bought his family a few more days of safety. The rival he defeated is now a wanderer, searching for water in a landscape where none exists. But zoomed out, the victory is limited. The alpha has won the fight against his rival, but he is still losing the fight against the environment. In an ecological collapse, monopolizing a dying resource is a temporary measure. It doesn't stop the river from drying or the heat from rising. Natural selection favors the strong and the territorial, but those instincts eventually hit a wall when the very environment required for life ceases to exist.